The following broadcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. While Kirk Shepard is a therapist, he's probably not your therapist, so this production should not be considered a replacement for therapy. If you are in need of professional counseling, please use a resource like psychologytoday.com, your primary care physician, or one of the many online therapy services available. If you are in crisis or having a psychological emergency, please seek assistance from your closest emergency room. And now, happy Monday! Happy Monday, everybody! Welcome back! Glad to be here with you. My name, of course, is Kirk Shepard, and I'm your host every Monday as we talk about themes of gratitude, affirmation, and productivity. And today's a very special episode, as our guest is super special. I'm so excited about it. So we'll get to that in a minute. But I wanted to talk to you today about some things that are going on, and specifically about our guest and the show that she's in. So our guest is Emily Kristen Morris, and she is the standby for Elphaba, which is the lead role of the musical Wicked. If you don't know what Wicked is about, I'll tell you. It's the story of friendship, identity, discrimination, power, and the nature of good and evil, told through the backstory of the Wizard of Oz. The story delves into the backstory and motivations of the characters, presenting a more complex narrative than the traditional fairy tale, and it challenges the notion of absolute good and evil, highlighting that individuals are often shaped by their circumstances and the choices they make. It's a perfect therapy show because it helps us have empathy for the Wicked Witch of the West when we find out maybe she's not so wicked after all. Wicked is a great show, and Elphaba is one of my favorite characters in all of musical theater. Let's talk about her a little bit. So, physically, she stands out with her green skin, which sets her apart from others and leads to her being ostracized and marginalized. She's often portrayed as an outcast and is misunderstood due to her appearance. However, as the story progresses, it becomes clear that her green skin is just a physical attribute, and it does not define her true character. She's also highly intelligent, passionate, and fiercely independent. And ladies and gentlemen, can she sing? She possesses a strong sense of justice and questions the oppressive regime of Oz, particularly the discriminatory treatment of animals, and her fight for animal rights in the corrupt government is caused her to be labeled as wicked by those in power. She's also vulnerable and compassionate, strong and fierce, and truly a great character. Now, the musical Wicked is based on a novel, which you see behind me here, by Gregory Maguire, which is a lot more into the politics of Oz than the musical has time for. But it's a good read, and I would highly recommend, if you're interested in The Wizard of Oz, that you take a look at the book Wicked. And then, of course, if you've not seen the musical, you should totally do that. So we're going to talk to Emily in just a minute, but I want to introduce a new segment to the show, and that's our word of the day. And our word today is resilience. Emily's got quite a story. I'll let her tell you about it when we get to that. But resilience is the capacity to withstand and recover from difficulties, toughness, the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape, elasticity. Resilience is an important trait. And if you read today's blog available over at kirkshepard.com, you know that you can build resilience. It's not just inherent. So make sure you check out the blog over there at kirkshepard.com every Monday morning prior to checking out the podcast, or after, whenever. Just read it, and you'll be up to speed on all things Happy Monday related. So I think it's time for us to hear from Emily Kristen Morris. So this is a pre-recorded interview that I did with her just the other day. I'm green today in honor of my very special guest. You may have seen her on TikTok. You may have seen her all over the internet, or you might have seen her on stage as Elphaba. I can't tell you how excited I am to talk to my friend Emily Kristen Morris.
I'm so excited to be here.
It's so cool to catch up with you. It's been a long time since I think that I see you last year in New York. I might have seen you at Hurley's. Were you there?
Maybe briefly.
Yeah. But since then, a lot has changed for you. And I wanted to just talk about it. So this podcast talks about gratitude, affirmation, and productivity. And
Cool.
our word for the day is going to be resilience. I think you embody that, and I think it would be really cool to maybe talk about your journey from health struggles to the biggest role in broad and musical theater. So, can
Sure.
you just tell the folks a little bit about your story?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, my name's Emily. Kirk and I met because I went to CCM musical theater program at the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music, and so he came to lots of my shows at school, and um,
I
I
I still know
graduated
you as
back
Liz
in
Estrada Jones. So,
yeah, yeah. Which wow, like no one knows that show, but what a fun time that we had. Yeah, so I graduated in 2017, moved to the city, and has been, yeah, I've been working as an actor since. I'm also a voice teacher, and I run my voice studio, EKM Vocal Studio. But yeah, so Kirk was asking me about health stuff. So right before I was set to come to CCM for my freshman year, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and almost didn't come, but did. Truly, like, I mean, I attribute it to being young and recovering fast, and I'm so thankful for yeah. So anyway, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and I had this big surgery, and went through radioactive treatment and all that stuff. And one of the things that came out of that is that after the surgery, I came out with a paralyzed vocal cord, which was the main reason why I was wondering if I'd be able to go to CCM, because I couldn't
sure.
sing. And I've been a singer my whole life. Like, that
Yeah,
was my thing. And so that was like the scariest moment ever. And
I bet.
yeah. And it took a lot of rehabbing and voice therapy and working with, just amazing people that
Sure.
got me back to being able to do the thing I loved. And that first year at CCM was a lot of that. They put me with, she's still there, she's unbelievable, her name's Karen Likes, she's a voice teacher at CCM, and they put me with her right away, and said, Karen's the head of our vocal department, and you need to work with this girl and help her rehab her voice. And she absolutely did. But yeah, cut
That's a
to 10
lot.
years later, and
Yeah.
I'm standing by for Elphaba in Wicked on the Broadway national tour. Which, yeah, if you had told me 10 years ago that I would be singing, on a Broadway national tour stage, let alone like that role.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
maybe
cool.
for the folks who don't know, this isn't necessarily a theater audience always. I mean, some of it are, but Elphaba
Okay.
is a vocally demanding role, and you're on stage almost the entire show when you're performing. But also
The
more
whole thing.
complicated for you is that you don't know when you're going to be on.
Yeah. It's a really unique job. I've never,
Yeah,
I've never done anything like it. I've understudied, but understudying is different because at least, you're on every night,
yeah, you're usually in
in some
another role in the
capacity.
show that yeah.
hmm Yeah, and you're still working on your craft, and you're still getting, you're comfortable on that stage because you're there every night, and it's really different to like go from 0 to 60 with this
Well, and
job.
not only are you doing this, so you're on the road and you are starring sometimes as again the greatest role in all musical theater, in my opinion, and then you're also running a very successful vocal studio and have a very popular TikTok channel. So, how did that start?
Yeah. Yeah. So back in 2018, well, I had always known that I one day might want to teach voice. And I mean, part of that was actually going through the vocal rehab stuff after my voice paralysis in 2013, starting to really understand the inner workings of the voice, and realizing it was traumatizing, but I was also sort of interested in what I was learning. And
Sure.
so that was always in the back of my head. And then, yeah, in 2018, I decided to get certified and join the Institute for Vocal Advancement, which is this awesome
Cool.
voice pedagogy training program. It's really been amazing. And then, yeah, started teaching privately, mostly just teaching people who, at that point, I had just gotten off the road with the national tour of Something Rotten.
Yeah.
And so teaching, people who had seen me in shows and wanted to,
Sure.
learn a little
Yeah.
bit about what I do and how to sing. Um, and then the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden that wasn't a side job anymore. And that's all I had. I wasn't auditioning. I wasn't, so I was like, okay, I'm going to really dive into this business. And a friend of mine was like, hey, there's this thing called TikTok. It's a great place for people to learn. And I was, okay, little 60-second clips of, how to hit the high note in this song and tips to work through,
Yeah.
tongue tension or whatever. And it just blew up. I think I joined at the right time. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah. So anyway, that has been
I'm new to
it's been
TikTok, and
great.
I was going through my thing, and you popped up randomly as one of the
Yeah.
things. I'm like, I know her. That was really fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and
insane.
you do some really cool reaction stuff, and what a great
Hmm.
platform, and what a great way to promote and market your business. And
Yeah, right.
yeah, and you can do it
It's
from wherever you are.
fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's fun, but it's also educational. And yeah, you can promote a business very easily on that, forum for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's totally insane. Like I started this thing and it was small. It was just me teaching a handful of students. And now I have 7 associate teachers who teach
I
for
saw. I know
EKM
half of
Vocal
them.
Studio. Yeah. Yeah. Some from CCM. And,
Yeah,
um, yeah, and all the students are coming from mostly my online presence and,
yeah,
learning
it's awesome.
little tidbits here and there and then deciding to take lessons. So it's yeah, TikTok is a big tool that people underestimate. It's cool.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Well, so we talk about, like I said, gratitude, affirmation, and productivity. I'm wondering, what are you grateful for?
Oh my gosh, I have so much to be grateful for. I'm grateful for my health.
Hmm.
I'm grateful for my amazing set of mentors and supporters, my family and my fiance and my voice teachers and my acting coaches and all the people that have brought me to where I am today. It's just yeah, any actor will say that any
Right.
person, right? Like you don't make it where you make it without the people that helped you get there.
Right.
So
No matter what your
really
job is,
grateful.
it's yeah, good. I love that. I'm
Yeah.
wondering,
Yeah.
in terms of productivity, you're basically working two very odd but full time jobs, right? So
Uh-huh.
you are waiting to go on stage at any given moment, and you might know 2 hours before. I saw a video the other day where you were literally filming yourself doing yoga, and got a call
Yep.
that you had to go on in like 2 hours. So how do
Yep.
you balance productivity wise? How do you find the time to fit in the vocal lessons, do the show, make sure you're taking
Yeah.
care of
Yeah.
yourself?
I mean, I'm teaching a lot less than I was, obviously, before
Sure.
Wicked, certainly. But yeah, people think, okay, you're a standby, so you just sort of show up to the theater and sit backstage, and that's your job. But actually, there's a lot. I am the Elphaba for every rehearsal. So I'm
Mm,
rehearsing a lot whenever we bring in someone new, or we're setting someone in a new track, or doing an understudy rehearsal, whatever. I'm always the Elphaba that they're using.
sure.
So I'm called, you know, a few
Yeah.
times a week to do stuff like that.
Makes sense.
And then yeah, at the show at night, obviously, just in case, or I'm on.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I teach when
Have
I
you ever had to
can.
go on mid show?
Not yet.
Okay.
And
That'd
for the
be
sake of
wild.
whoever, and it happens, but for the sake of whoever my principal Elphaba is, I really hope I don't ever have to, because it
Yeah.
means that
Right.
something went wrong.
Right. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So productivity wise, you just stay focused, it sounds like, and you just make sure you are organized and have a plan.
Yep. I think it would have been easy to just sort of put the teaching aside, and I certainly
Sure.
could have done that because this is absolutely a full-time job. But I find that it has helped my soul a lot. People don't talk about uh, being an understudy, being a swing, being a standby. There is a sense of isolation, and there's a sense of yeah, loneliness to the job, and
Sure.
and teaching and diving into this thing that I love so much, and I know I can help people, and I know I'm good at it. Like it's a really nice outlet for me that has nothing to do with Wicked, that I can find a lot of joy and passion in when it's hard in the other part of my job. So
Sure.
I fit it in when I can, and I'm really grateful to, because it gives my life more purpose and passion and
Well,
all that.
and honestly, the TikTok thing's that's also a job,
And
and
that.
you keep
Mhm.
up with all that as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, but
You
that's
just got you just
fun.
yeah, you just got to go home. You got a little break. It looked like from what I was
Uh-huh.
following on the
Uh-huh.
online and hung out with
Yep.
my friend Carl, which is good. Tell him I
Yep.
said hello.
Yep. Oh,
I
I
saw him. I
will.
saw him in New York. Actually, I just saw him recently. I was in New York a couple weeks ago and
Yep.
saw him at
Yep.
Hurley's.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So for anybody who is struggling with health stuff or wanting to pursue a career in any kind of performing arts or any sort of job, really that you have a very unique sort of job in that you do it in front of thousands of people a day. But any kind
Uh-huh.
of person is pursuing a goal. Any affirmation that you could share with them, anything that you could tell them that would help inspire.
Affirmation. Um, the only affirmation that I use semi regularly is something I learned in a meditation course I took. It's the
Yeah.
loving kindness meditation. So you say, "May I be well, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I be full of peace." And then you think of others and you say, "May you be well, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you be full of peace." And then you think about the world, may we. And that has been something that's
Yeah.
been helpful when things get stressful and hard.
Love
And
that.
but I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, affirmation aside, just certainly with health issues, I know it's a cliche, but trusting that like this too shall pass, and whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're dreaming about, there's going to come a time when this
Yeah.
sort of pocket of your life hopefully resolves itself and you can move on. And so keep working in whatever capacity you can towards your
Yeah.
dreams. Yeah.
Well, you're certainly proof that anything's possible because, like you said, who would have thought 10 years ago that you would be singing Defying Gravity on a
Yeah.
stage in that amazing, amazing number, my favorite song. So good to
Yeah.
talk to you. Thank you so much
It's so
for
good
taking
to
up the
talk
time.
to you.
And tell
I
Paul I said hi as well, who's on the road with you.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh. Yep. We have a few CCMers.
yeah, I haven't seen the show since DJ left, but I will
Uh-huh.
hit up the Wicked Tour next time it's close by and say hi in person.
Absolutely. Yep, yep. I
Thank you
love that
so
you have green
much.
in the background. It's so
Of
funny. I love
course, I
it.
would have worn a green shirt if I could have found one this morning, but I was in a hurry. It's fringe here, so I'm a little busy.
Sure. Yeah, I know. It
Yeah.
sounds like you're very busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So are you. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah.
I will talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Plug your stuff. We
Absolutely.
see it on the screen there. If you're interested in getting voice
Sure.
lessons from any of the great folks in her studio, you can do that at emilykristenmorris.com. Is that right? Yes, it is.
That's
And then
it.
TikTok and
That's it.
Insta, and it's you're a lot of fun to watch, especially your vocal reacts. You
They're
enjoy
fun.
those, and I enjoy watching you react. Which who would have
I
thought that
just
could be a
love great
thing?
singing. I
I
know.
know.
I think it's I just love great singing. And I think what I think it is? I think it's that, I post lots of sort of educational like singing tips and tricks,
Yeah.
which is great for people who are singers. But I
Yeah.
think what's cool about Vocal Coach Reacts is that that's sort of for anyone. And
Yeah.
anyone, can say, "Oh, I liked that singer." And it's cool that
Yeah.
she likes that singer too. And I want to
Yeah.
learn why I'm enjoying that sound and what's
Yeah.
working about what they're
I'm
doing and
sure you've reacted
breaking it down.
To Alex's independently owned from Shucked. I'm sure you've reacted to that already, haven't you?
I haven't yet, and I need to.
Oh,
I need
you
to.
need to. Yeah.
I need to see it. I just need to see the
I
show.
saw it
Yeah.
front
Yeah.
row live in New York when I was there, and it's stuff. Standing ovation, middle of the show. I mean, it's
Oh, that's so
unbelievable.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
so
want to
much
see
for your
it.
time. We'll see you
Yeah,
soon.
of course. Yeah, see you soon.
Brene Brown has a term that she taught in Atlas of the Heart. It's called Freudenfreud. So we know what Schadenfreude is, right? Schadenfreude is when you wish ill on other people or take pleasure in their suffering. Freudenfreud is when you take great pleasure in people's success. And I like to think that I'm full of Freudenfreud. And the reason that I write about theater and spend time supporting and watching people on stage is because sometimes they make it. And I'm infinitely glad and grateful that Emily and others like her grew up on stage in front of me and have made it to the big time. She's deserving of all the success that she has, and she's very talented. And if you haven't checked out her TikTok, make sure you do that. And if she's on Elphaba in the town near you, I've heard some bootlegs. Woo, she's killing it. It's time for some self-care. So we talked last week about the colors of the pride flag, and I thought it would be interesting this week to kind of continue the theme of colors. And I'm using our book, A Year of Self-Care by Dr. Zoe Shaw. I did cheat today, I will admit. I used the date from the day before today just because it fit better with the theme. It's okay. It's fine. Dr. Zoe Shaw won't care or know. But the title of today's self-care strategy was Find Your Color. So the impact of beauty on your psyche is enormous. Some may view beauty as frivolous or peripheral to part of the world, but it's most certainly not. Beauty is a human necessity, and nature is beauty epitomized. Beauty exists in the vast array of colors you encounter each day. Certain colors resonate deeply with different people. The right color seems to perfectly match the song in your soul. So identify your color today. Is it deep blue? Is it vibrant yellow? Dusky red? Is it emerald green like Elphaba? Commit to surround yourself with more of your favorite colors and invest in yourself by picking a color, celebrating a color, being a color, finding your color. I love that idea. I think Elphaba being green is one of the coolest things because we learn throughout the show why her skin is green, and it's a pretty important reveal. I won't spoil it for you, but the green means something, and it's cool. So find your color. Yeah? I think it's time maybe for some mindfulness. Let's do some guided imagery today. So if you're able to, close your eyes, get yourself set, put your feet firmly on the floor, relax, take deep breaths. If you're watching the video, you can breathe in and out with the colors, or you can just focus on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I want you to just pick a color, whatever color you want. What does that color represent to you? Why did you pick it? Think about how you can change your mindset to reflect the color that you want to be. Are you a bold, flashy color who wants to live out loud and proud this month? Are you a pale, subdued color who wants to take time for yourself and rest? Are you a happy color? A warm color? A cool color? There's no bad color. Picture yourself from the bottom of your toes, turning that color all the way up your legs, into your arms, into your torso, to the top of your head. You are now your color of choice. How do you feel? Does that color reflect for you a particular feeling? As you're able to, focus on your breathing and slowly come back to reality. And we'll wrap this up. How'd that feel? Are you relaxed? Do you feel good? I hope so. That is the point and the goal. We're not going to talk about habits today. I don't have any habit material, but you know the drill. Atomic Habits is a great resource. Keep it simple, keep it obvious, keep it satisfying. There's one more that I can't think of off the top of my head, and that's okay. We'll talk about habits maybe a little more later. What are you doing to celebrate Pride Month? What are you doing to live your best life and live yourself, be your authentically you? What are you doing about that? If you need help with that, please reach out or get some therapy. That's not a, people sometimes say, go get some therapy, like it's an insult or like it's a degrading thing to go get help. If you need help, go get help. I have a therapist. I'm a therapist and I have a therapist. We all need therapy. We all should have one. Who wouldn't want that? I always tell my clients that I'm there as a sounding board. Even though I look terrible in a mini skirt, I'm a fantastic cheerleader. I'm going to call you out gently if you need to be called out. We all need that in our lives, and we need it from somebody who's not related to us, who doesn't have any sort of emotional tie to us in a way that's going to bias their interventions, right? Friends are important. Family's important. But having somebody who is, I never say I'm impartial or I'm biased because I'm totally on my client's side, but I'm not related to them, and that makes a difference. So go get some therapy if you need it. PsychologyToday.com is a great database full of resources. You can also use BetterHelp if you want to. You might have to try a couple of different people on there to find the right fit. Don't give up, though, the first time if it's bad. You might stumble across somebody awesome. You never know. But get some help if you need it, and do those things. All right, so one more thing. Affirmation and action this week. I want you to look at me. I want you to focus on me if you're watching the video. If not, just listen to the sound of my voice and hear me straight. You are an overcomer. You, as Glennon Doyle says, can do hard things. You can build resilience. If you're not already resilient, you can become resilient. And my blog will help you do that with some step-by-step skills. But you got this today. Whatever it is you're struggling with, whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever it is that's causing you stress or anxiety or self-doubt, I promise you, you can get through it because you can do hard things. Internalize that. Say that to yourself. Believe it, live it, and act it out. And that's how we're going to end this show. It has been my pleasure to come to you today on Happy Monday to get the day started. Thanks again to Emily Kristen Morris, my fantastic guest today. And we'll see you next week back here with more gratitude, affirmation, productivity. We'll see you then. Happy Monday, everybody.